What's up, guys? This is going to be a quick one just because the market is open and I do have some positions to manage, but I figured I will update you guys on the positions from my most recent video on how I approach hedging positions with options. I released this video last week and it was about a swing trade on the SPX, and now I hedged it using the SPY. That trade was opened, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was on around Wednesday, and I was sharing my thoughts on how I was expecting the markets to be slightly choppy in a certain area with a slightly bullish bias. Now the markets has since gone down since I've opened that position, but you guys can see the P&L on the active Ironfly is currently up around $1,400. Today is Wednesday, so generally this is when I like to make a midweek adjustment to my portfolio, either realize the gains or decide if I want to hold longer, and then I have to reevaluate my risk. Now this is that exact position here, so it is doing well, I would say, and this is the hedge. Now I closed out the hedge. There was no need for me to be in it. So hold on, I just refreshed this. I don't know what just happened on option strat, but this is the hedge. So as you guys can see, the hedge is doing okay. It's pretty much borderline zero, whereas the actual position is doing well. And that's how I try to structure these positions. If you remember in the previous video, I talked about evaluating each day by checking to see what's the theoretical P&L would be like. Again, now that today is Wednesday, this is what I was essentially aiming for in terms of the duration of hold. I like that the trade-off for the hedge did not cost much. I went ahead and actually put this here to show you guys this was without the ratio. So if I didn't have that long put, you guys can see that the hedge will actually be profitable, but the long put is what allowed me to sleep better at night in case the market ended up really tanking. I wanted that extra Vega exposure, and I also wanted to have any type of max profit to the downside. Let's just say the market was down 5% or something crazy, some sort of black swan event. So this is the quick update here, and let me just update this so you guys can see. This is with one lot, but I'm actually in three, so it's coinciding with the Thinkorswim risk profile, which is live. So I only have this position on. Now, I went ahead and also wanted to show you guys, this is the hedge essentially that I mentioned for the month of June. If you guys remember, I did a video at the beginning of June for those of you to actually follow along intuitively. If not, I highly suggest you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notification bells, because when I do these types of videos, I am essentially addressing some sort of macro approach, and then that trickles down into some of my smaller positions. I mentioned at the beginning of the month for June that traders essentially are expecting a pullback with the FOMC. You had the CPI report. This was the first month in which we had a new Fed chairman, and then the SpaceX IPO and all the other catalysts that was on the horizon. But the position there, I'm still, holding those just because it's doing well, and it offered protection for the month. So this is up $1,800. I only have two lots left here, and I don't really see much of a need to close. It has offered an extra cushion or buffer that allowed me to be a little bit more dangerous or scale up in some of my other shorter term positions, but this was a 28 DTE position. That I think is something important to take away. Yeah, I trade 0 DTE, or you can trade 0 DTE. You can trade weekly options, but you can also trade monthly options. You can trade options that expire 4 weeks out or so, and this can be your macro thesis, and then you kind of trade around it, or your macro idea for the month and sometimes for the quarter. This is a good way to approach trading as you become a little bit more mature as a trader. Not everything is about 0 DTE or what you think is going to happen over the next 2 seconds in the market. Sometimes it's good to take a step back, analyze your data, and come up with a main idea. This trade was essentially structured around the markets not putting in a new high for majority of the month. The all-time high is around 7,620, if I remember correctly. So that's why I structured this position this way, pretty much saying like, hey, as long as the market does not put in a new all-time high, if it hovers around the all-time high, then it can be a really big win. But if it pulls back, I liked that it was short delta at the time. I like that it was long theta, and I like that it was long Vega. I expected volatility to increase this month. So this trade essentially checked all those boxes. If we just jump forward to next week, there's still room for this trade to squeeze out a lot more P&L. As you guys can see, obviously, if the market ends up pushing a little higher and then it hovers around here, there's room to squeeze out some decent profit. But I don't think I'm holding a position like this until even the week of expiration, which would be next week. I actually almost closed it out yesterday just because I want to free up these expirations to open up some other positions into next week. But this trade is doing so well, I couldn't find something that was better. So I figured, let me just, let it sit there for a bit and see how it continues to perform. Now, I have a new hedge overall on my portfolio in general, which is just this back ratio. And that's only because I opened up some other positions on the SPX. And I just wanted a little bit more cushion, because this is my positions for this week here. Sometimes TOS does that. There we go. So this is just for this week's expirations. I have something that expires. I believe this is a 1 DTE, which was opened yesterday, just to squeeze out some little bit more theta, as I was expecting the markets to be choppy around here. I had a 0 DTE position that did well. I had a 2 DTE position that's doing well. Pretty much whenever the market is around these significant gamma strikes, I try to harvest as much theta as possible. I'm seeing enough of a reason to think the market might want to tag 730. So just in case it goes to 730 and it breaks 730, I didn't really see much of a support below it when I did my analysis. So it got me nervous if the market was below 730. So I just wanted to preemptively protect myself, and I entered 2 lots of that back ratio. And the way it's structured, normally some experienced traders might like to structure their back ratios for a credit, meaning if the market goes up, they don't lose any money. But if the market was to crash, they have a lot of protection to the downside. I decided to not go for a credit, which means if the market was to bounce about 1%, I will be down around $400 or so. But just based on the way my entire portfolio is structured, if the market was to bounce 1%, I'm not really going to be complaining that much, because as you guys can see, if the market bounced 1%, supply volatility comes down a little bit, I'm probably going to be up over $3,000 in this. So to sacrifice $400 for a back ratio is not something I'm going to complain about. This is essentially just insurance on the portfolio in case something that's, we don't see. Let's just say the market's down 3% overnight. I would be in serious trouble if I didn't have something like this. So implied volatility would more than likely spike tremendously. So let's just say 3%, $2,000. This again is theoretical. This is if the market was to be down to 714. I'm essentially looking for protection around 720. So this is why I created this back ratio. This is opened yesterday just to, sleep well at night and offer some protection into tomorrow also, while I try to push this trade a little bit longer, because now it is Wednesday. It's still only 10:13 a.m. Eastern time. So the market has only just opened as it's consolidating around here. So still plenty time left in the day. But as it stands right now, I'm going to try to, in a sense, convince myself to hold my main position, which is the iron fly, into Thursday, because the risk to reward is definitely worth it for me currently. Even if I were to risk $1,000, this is offering me some room to the downside, from here. So all the way down to here, that's if the market was down 0.8% or so, roughly 50 points from where it is. If the market was to be up, call it 40 points or so, that's me risking $1,000 to potentially make $4,000, or in this case $2,000, because I'm currently up $1,000. So I have to do my job now over the next hour or so to decide, is it worth the risk, or if I can find something that's better to help me protect the portfolio, I might open up some sort of puts butterfly that is a 1 DTE, or maybe a 0 DTE. If I take a look at what the 0 DTE gamma exposure is looking like, pretty much I have to analyze some data. I'm doing this video before I've done my analysis, and because again, I wanted to squeeze it out pretty quickly before I move on with my day, and I figured some of you guys might be interested in the follow-up. Now, the patterns that are forming here are interesting, something to take note of. From compression comes expansion. So the market is going to want to make some sort of volatile move, is the expectation over the next day or two. I don't know which direction as of yet. I'm still nervous again about 730, but the market's very much so might want to fill this gap right up here. So it's a little bit of a coin toss right now until I take a look at some other data and wait for some more information to be presented. And again, main point was just to update you guys on this, because it's, I didn't just want to show you guys in a video of how I hedged. It's important, I think, to see how things played out. Again, I'm no longer in this. So I think at the point I had realized maybe a $200 loss on this position. When I had realized the loss on the hedge, and that's just because I realized it did not need this much protection anymore, as this trade was doing well, and it had, as I did my analysis for the week, I knew if the market was to come down to even down to here, this position would be doing well. It's more so if it goes below this point is where I'm in trouble. So I went with a longer DTE hedge, which is the back ratio right now, which is for Monday's expiration as opposed to just Friday. And again, I went for a debits. So you can structure these for credits. You do that by, if you change the ratio, let's just say I went with something like this, and then we sell more of the puts here as opposed to how much we bought. You see, this is now opening it for credit. In other words, if the market was to bounce, you can actually profit on this. The problem with these types of spreads is that then you need the market to really, really be down a lot. You know, it needs to essentially really crash to offer you the protection you wanted. And as I was doing my analysis, I realized it would have been safer for me to just go for a debit and pay for the insurance versus trying to get a credit. So now if the market bounces again, I'm going to take a loss on this hedge here. Guys, if you are learning something with these styles of videos, let me know. I will keep this type of videos coming, as it is based on some live positions I'm in, and I'm showing you guys things that I don't think is really out there on how an experienced trader is going to be hedging and managing an options portfolio and just churning out theta, if you will, and essentially being non-directional with slight biases here and there. All right, guys, like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.